This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. Lady Roscoe on point. She gon' tell you the drill. You got Yoko Camille. All work, no play. She gon' give you the spiel. Let's talk about it. What's the truth? They just keeping it real. Square business, that's the deal. They gon' speak on something, just pick a topic, get it poppin'. Not your average type of show, they keep it rockin', ain't no stopping. Controversial, who cares? We taking over, keep on watching. Motion steady on go, anticipation got 'em flocking. Ain't nothing average about it, just keep glad that you found it. Tell a friend about it, know we all about it, so we gon' speak about it. Yoko Camille and Lady Roscoe, leave no doubt about it. Scream it out from the mouth. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. You know what it is. Not your average podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yoko Camille, Lady Roscoe. Y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying?
All right, welcome to Not Your Average Podcast. I'm Yoko Camille.
And I am Lady Roscoe.
And thank you for tuning in, whether you're on the go or you're sitting on the toilet. Thank you for enjoying the show.
Yes, and away we go.
Right. So how has your week been?
It has been a week again.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but I'm chucking along. And you doing good at yourself?
Yes, I'm actually doing pretty good. No complaints here. Just, a little ill here and there. But, for the most part, I've been doing okay. I've been doing all right.
Yeah, I've been a little drained. Just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
It has definitely been one of those weeks. I'm going to tell you that.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did watch some. Well, I watched some of it. I watched a little bit before halftime, and then I watched the halftime show, which was,
Usher.
It was okay. He did his thing. He could have did a little bit more, but hey, he did his thing.
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
But what got me was Jermaine Dupri in those ruffle socks.
Okay, he came out. I thought he was Rev Run for a second. I said, is that Rev Run? And so it was like, it's Jermaine Dupri. And I was like, why he dressed up like the Quakers, man?
So yesterday I wasn't in the best mood because we were supposed to be going out for Super Bowl and doing other things, but stuff just happened. We tried to record the show first thing in the morning and nothing was working. So I was just in a not so good mood. So I was in the room by myself. He was in the front room and he was barbecuing everything. And I just was trying to be by myself after we get out from trying to record this. And I just was by myself. And then he finally convinced me to come in there and watch TV. And the Super Bowl came on, and the first thing that got me to talking was Jermaine Dupri. Because I know damn well he ain't got those little ruffle socks on that I used to wear when I used to go to school.
That's what everyone keeps saying, like every black girl. And it's funny because my mom used to make me take pictures.
Man. And if I came home with those little socks dirty or something, I would be in trouble. And I'm like, but I'm a tomboy. Don't send me to school in no dress and no ruffle socks if you don't want me to come home dirty, because I'm a play.
I don't even feel like they exist anymore.
I haven't seen a kid in ruffle socks in so long. I want to know where he got them from. Either they were ruffle socks or they were slouch socks. Either way, there was some shit that I wore back in the 90s or before.
Right. I was looking, he uploaded a picture. I guess he was getting tired of people talking smack. And they were socks with pockets on them. And Louis Vuitton socks, like Louis Vuitton. I was like, I don't know. They looked ridiculous. They looked more ridiculous up close. I was like, I would rather think he was wearing ruffle socks.
Man, I didn't see him up close, but it's ridiculous. His stylist should have said, Jermaine, no, that is a no-go.
Right. And then a lot of people thought Kanye West came on stage, but it was
I
Will I.
did too.
Ah!
I
I
did too.
am, but I was like, did he gain weight? And then someone
So
said Kanye, and I was like, what?
you know, Kanye always be wearing those masks and be looking crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't remember Usher and Kanye having a song together. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
then the song started playing. So I'm like, okay, that's Will I Am. Because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's bad enough we got to see Taylor. I don't want to see Kanye too.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right. Kanye up there. I was like, Kanye's not even from Atlanta.
And then what everybody's talking about is Usher and Alicia Keys.
Oh, my boo.
First of all, I love Alicia. I think she did an amazing job. But
Mm-hmm.
that first note,
Everybody's been talking about it.
man, like I tried to. I wasn't gonna even bring it up. I wasn't gonna talk. I was just like, maybe it was me. Maybe I'm hearing wrong. Maybe it was the TV or something. But no, everybody has been on her tail about that.
Did you hear they apparently edited for afterplay with AI to correct the out of the tune being out of tune?
No,
Yeah,
no.
they had like did a
Mm-mm.
little clip and tried to redo it. My first off, I was like, oh, so Ice Spice and Taylor are besties. We just hanging out
Right.
in the same booth. Okay, we do
And
one
then
song together.
my boyfriend was like, "Who is that? Her brother?" I'm like, "I don't know who it is. I don't listen to none of them. I don't listen to Ice Spice. I don't listen to Taylor. So
I
who
listened to Taylor
cares?"
since I was in school. Like,
I have never listened to Taylor.
oh
There's not
really?
one song that I can tell you that she sings. Like I was like, "Shake It Off," but then I thought, isn't that Megan Trainor?
No, that's Taylor Swift.
That's Taylor. Okay, so yeah, that's probably the only song I know, and I don't even know the whole song to that.
I think that song had like 100 million views on YouTube or something crazy.
That's so crazy. So,
Mm-mm.
how do you feel about the Alicia Keys and Usher? The how he was, Usher being Usher, doing Usher things.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think about it because they're performing on stage and they're
Hmm.
artists. But in the day and there, okay, there was a time period in entertainment when those type of things weren't a big deal because it was
Hmm.
entertainment. But
Yeah.
in the day and age that we're at today, and everyone being so sensitive, and everyone's so sensitive in their own relationships that
It
they're acting some type of way when even Swiss don't even really care. Like,
right. He don't, and it's like ever since Kiki Palmer. But Usher been doing the things that he did on stage with her, like all this time. He's been doing it, and like everybody keeps saying, Usher menace. He don't care. He's gonna steady going after these married women, but he's performing. It's just part of his character. I mean, now if these women take it upon themselves to go a little further, that's on them. Usher was performing. He's doing his job. Now, if you want to be thirsty and go back to the hotel room, that's on you and your partner. But yeah, I just think it was so. What do you think about the booty smack that he did to Alicia?
I didn't see the I didn't see it.
Oh yes, it was definitely there. He did a little smacky smack, but he he tends to do that with everyone. Not saying it's okay, but he tends to do that to everyone.
I,
Bless you,
I'm sorry, I sneezed and coughed.
girl. You is fine. You fine.
Oh my goodness, that was cute. Yeah, I didn't see the smack on the bottom. Everyone had been talking about it. I even watched The Breakfast Club and
Mhm.
Charlemagne and Just Hilarious had mentioned they had seen it too. So I kind of had been looking away. I got a call during the halftime, so I was trying to usher in with Usher. I one of the parts I paid attention to was the fact that like one of his shirts, it was like when he was wearing blue, his
Mhm.
shirt had like built-in abs, like but they were like pad muscles. I don't even
Yeah.
understand. I was like, so that's what we do nowadays, just wear shirts with abs on them.
I mean, like the whole situation, the whole thing. I enjoyed the show. I do feel like
Yeah.
it could have been a little better. He could have had a little, I guess, some more people, or just made it more interesting. If that's what he did at his residency, I'm not sure if I would have wanted to pay to see that.
Right.
But I mean, for a free show, I think he did
Right.
okay. I think he did okay. But
Right.
I wouldn't pay to see that.
Those tickets are like what, $15,000 just for the
It
nosebleed?
it depends on where you're sitting. Those tickets were crazy high, and even
Yeah,
Charles
it
Barkley
was the
said
cheapest.
anybody that's paying $44,000 for a ticket, you're dumb, you're stupid. I mean, if you got it, I mean, I guess, but no, I'm good.
So those are like a bunch of rich people or
Hmm.
people in loans, but
Right.
because let me see the ticket price. Um, they range anywhere between $7,000 and $60,000.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm good. I'm good
Yep.
on that.
The lowest is $6,379.
Mm-mm.
So that is in section 442, row
Mm-mm.
8 at the top of the stadium.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I'm good watching it on TV. No.
Yes.
Unless somebody pay for my ticket or sponsor me to go, I'm good. I'm good on all
That's
that.
that is billion. The Super Bowl alone with people in their seats is billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Billions.
Man, and then they got more
I'm
money because
exaggerating.
Taylor was there.
Right.
And it's not like everybody wanted to see her. People were so tired of seeing Taylor. Like every game, Taylor, Taylor, Taylor. We're not at a music contest. I mean, concert. We at a football game. No, don't nobody want to see her. But hey, I
There were
guess.
times where like some of them like okay, like there were some times where you could just tell like they didn't genuinely understand what was going on, but they were reacting because all the other fans were reacting. I'm not saying
Yeah,
Taylor would say because I'm pretty sure she's versed a little versed with the game now that she's been going to some, but the people she brought with her, I feel like had no clue what was really going on. Ice Spice looked confused at times, besides like flexing. Taylor was doing a drinking game where she like the minute the camera got on her, she's like chug 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 chug.
well,
First,
everybody was playing that game too. Every time they seen Taylor Swift, they take a shot. Do you know how many people was drunk just
I
off
bet
that game?
a lot maybe. Well, I didn't feel like I saw her too much today. I mean, obviously we saw her enough. It was the weird, awkward hug for me at the end of the game where she's like patting her boyfriend on the back like he's like she's her like his uncle or something. Like it was kind of
Girl, my special guest is trying to get in my lap.
oh, that's hilarious. We've got a special guest.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and get into our episode. Uh, anime. Are you
Anime.
watching?
Are you
So
watching?
I am. So
Okay.
most people when they hear anime, they think anime is like just a form of entertainment for children,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know it's like cartoons for grown-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The stories are really dark and serious, and the characters are always complex and well developed. And if you're looking for something that's going to make you think, anime is the way to go.
Honestly, you know, I know in the like back in like the early 20th century, original anime clips were silent films. A lot of movies obviously were silent films before they had audio, but they were just like paper cutouts. And
Mm-hmm.
around like the 30s and 40s, majority of anime was propaganda for like World War II,
Mm-hmm.
and continued until they started to around the 1950s after
Mm-hmm.
like Disney created Snow White. Japanese animators decided to change the style that they did their cartoons.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting, at least to be an early part of it. If you get a chance, you can even Google to see how it looks, and it's different. It's
Mm-hmm.
very different, but it's it's unique, and it makes you just feel like you should appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cartoon shows have come a long way, and yeah.
They definitely have. I know it took me almost a year to finally watch anime and get into it.
Mm,
It started with us going. We go to Vegas every year for Halloween and we dress up. And so he wanted to go as the characters in Demon Slayer. And I didn't
yes,
know anything about that because I've never watched cartoons.
yes.
Or I said cartoons, I never watched anime. So I finally decided that I was going to watch it. So I was a receptionist at BMW, and while I was there, I'd take my tablet to work and I just started watching it. And so I ended up watching the whole season of Demon Slayer in only a few days.
Okay.
And if you don't know about Demon Slayer, it's about this boy named Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko. So Tanjiro was gone somewhere and his family was murdered by a demon. The only person who was sort of left alive was his sister Nezuko, and she was actually bit by the demon too, and she has to be put in a box that's carried on his back away from the sun, so that she won't die or anything. And so they go around trying to save people from the same fate of their family, and they just go around trying to kill demons. And I thought it was really good, especially the graphic of it all
Yes.
was amazing, and so that just really got me into it. And after that one, I just started watching this crazy one called Parasite. And
Yes.
yeah, so that Demon Slayer is what got me into watching anime.
That's love and dedication. You're gonna carry me on your back in a box.
Yes, and we could not do that for Halloween. I'm like, you're not carrying me around. So, but
Ah, that would be dedication to a costume.
but also so the reason I didn't want to do it wasn't because he had to carry me on a box. They brother and sister. So I found that to be a little weird. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So we
Hmm.
end up just being like army people. I was an army girl and he was an army guy. So that was our costume. Uh,
Okay, that's pretty cool.
um, what got you started watching anime?
When I was young, um, my parents used to be in the military, and they were actually stationed in Japan when
Oh,
I was
cool.
young. Yes, so I had influence of Asian culture up until about the age of 9. So from maybe 2 to 9,
Okay.
so there's a lot of things that I still have in practice. And they of course had anime over there, and they also but they also had a lot of American cartoons dubbed in Japanese. So
Okay.
they're very hip to American culture. They're rich in their own culture, do not
Mm-hmm.
be mistaken, but it's like what comes next, the Western culture, the Western scene. So uh we when I was younger, my mom didn't let me watch Pokemon while we lived in Japan. Yeah, and it was because at the time
Mm-hmm.
there was a particular episode that does not get aired anymore. And I don't even
Okay.
know if it's on any type of special DVD, but what it was causing children to have seizures and uncontrollable vomiting due to the excessive flashing of lights and colors that were coming across the screen. So I actually wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon until we came back to the States. And my mom realized, I guess, that the episodes were not going, the rest of the episodes after that. They banned that particular episode, basically. So,
Okay.
and then I started watching it from there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have well, I didn't watch Pokemon.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of people have watched this cartoon or this anime that I'm about to say, Sailor Moon, and I didn't hear about that until last year.
Oh no, I grew up on Sailor Moon and the Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys and
Oh
Britney
no.
Spears. Like, so that kind of was my pop culture reference growing up. So I loved Sailor Moon. The main character, and just what she went through, her cat talking, and it's just like her friends, and they become on this journey. And later in the seasons, because she's in love with a mystery guy called Tuxedo Man, but he's actually just another boy from her high school that she can't stand. But they don't
Mhm.
know, they didn't know they liked each other. Typical.
Well, I know you had mentioned something about the Western in Japan, and that got me while you're looking up her. That got me to thinking of this one anime, and it's called Blue Eye Samurai, and it's a series about Japan's Edo period, which is like the 17th century, and it's a half white, half Japanese person. The character is, and she's on a quest for vengeance against four white men. One of them, who is her father, who allegedly remained in Japan during the closing of his borders,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up, killing her mother and some more people. So it's a really good one, and the graphics in that is so good, and it brings where the white man brought over the guns into Japan. So it just really shows you the dynamics and how Western culture had played a part in over there in Japan, and how the white man is, the reason guns came everywhere.
Wow. We're just
Yeah.
gonna we're just gonna do what typical world does. We gotta blame the white people for everything.
Right. I mean, like the main character, her name is Misu, and her experience of discrimination as a mixed race woman, like she can't, they can't do any revenge or else they'll get killed. Like they can't do any of that. So she has to disguise herself as a man in order to pursue her path of revenge. Because if she does it as a woman, then she would get punished or killed.
Oh wow, this is giving Mulan vibes.
Yeah, it's you. If y'all haven't watched it, you definitely need to watch it. It's worth watching. And like I said, the animation is crazy.
But yeah, it's just basically her and her friends, and she fights off these demons and bad creatures. That's pretty much the premise of like a lot of anime. They're fighting
Yeah.
off some type of supernatural power, or
Hmm.
it has something to do with some type of technology and space. Um,
Yeah.
and like it makes me think about like how we've adopted in America anime culture.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that like Astro Boy and Speed Racer are actually animes that were dubbed into
No.
English cartoons.
Hmm.
So like around 1983, you see the first time that they bring over anime into the US, and then it became like super, super popular.
Yeah.
So, and there's like a popular genre there in anime. It's like they have genres of music.
Hmm.
So they have the genre called mawe, which
Yeah.
describes usually often as like lighthearted high school age girls with plot lines of showing them criticized for being like overly simple and sexist.
Yeah.
But yet a lot of people tend to love that type of anime. So if you notice a lot of schoolgirl, if you notice a lot of schoolgirl references are in anime.
Hmm. Yeah, and that it's like there's this one, like we were naming the different kinds of anime. You said there's action, romance, and all those. There's also a sort of anime that I don't watch, and it's hentai, and it's
Mhm.
more pornish, and I don't watch that, and it's like there's this one that to me it falls in that category, but it's not, and that's Bastard, and it's because they show a lot of the breast and stuff like that, but they don't actually show the actions, but they show what's the word they use? It looks like they're having sex, but they're not. So
It's implied.
implied. I couldn't think of that for
Yeah.
nothing.
No,
But
and they
yeah.
do a lot of sexual reference. Like there was this one anime. It's called Fuli Kuli,
Hmm.
and it's based off of I guess a manga. I guess that's the proper
Hmm.
term. And I think it's a six-part series, like a small book series,
Yeah.
and basically like a girl witch who just trying to use her powers or whatever. And she meets this boy where she's always like, she's older than him, but she's always pressed up on him, doing like very sexual things where he's like always blushing and
Yeah.
nervous. Like I liked Fooly Cooly, besides the fact it was extremely sexual because I saw it when I was in high school and I was like, wow.
Mhm.
And at the end of it, because okay, there's this giant building. It like every B-roll they do, they do a glance of the city. And they always were focused on this building that had smoke coming out the top, like a pointed triangle. But
Mhm.
it was like the last episode, you realize it was actually a giant iron that like
Oh.
was going to flatten the city. So I guess that part was like, you know how steam comes out of the
Mhm.
top? That's
Yeah.
what the building was smoking for. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a giant iron. So it's interesting. You might want to check that one out too.
Okay. Yeah, so I know. I just want people to know, like, don't let people tell you that anime is just for kids.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of anime that are perfect for adults,
Right.
and so I'm gonna give you a few of the ones that I like,
Right.
and then I'm gonna give you some that other people have said that are pretty good, and I haven't necessarily watched yet.
Yes.
Um, but the ones that I feel are amazing and good to watch, like I said, Death Note is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Parasite is a good anime for you to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're girly, you'll like Romantic Killer, Comey Can't Communicate, Lookism, The Way of the House Husband, Blue Exorcist,
Mm.
Blue Period, The Dangerous Life of Sakai. That one's crazy. Eden Zero, One Piece, Black Clover. Those two are one of my favorites. One Piece, Black Clover, and Hunter x Hunter are my top three. The Daily Life of the Immortal King, Classroom of the Elite. I know I'm supposed to mess this up. Miri, it's Miruko/Chan. Mirioko Chan? I can't say it. I know I messed it up. My Hero Academia. That's also one of my favorites. Hunter x Hunter and Death Note. Some that other people like watching are Naruto, Attack on Titans, and Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. No,
That's a
those
lot. I know.
no. That doesn't even
Put a
scratch the
dent.
surface. Yeah. You know, I have a list of shows too, but before I get into that, I kind of want to talk how it influenced Hollywood because you were talking about how anime is just not for kids and anime
Right.
actually like influenced Hollywood, like movies, for example, The Matrix.
Okay.
And Kill Bill. So Kill Bill was based off of a movie, an anime titled Without Honor and Dignity, and that
Mm-hmm.
was created back in 1974.
Okay.
And so other Hollywood movies, including Inception, that was based off of an anime called Paprika. And
Mm-hmm.
you literally see scenes. If you were to watch this anime called Paprika, you'll see that scenes from Inception match the one from the movie. So where Leonardo in the movie where he's running down the hallway and it turns into like some type of a turning corridor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same scene. And then there was a part where Elliot Page had touched like the wall, and there's a same scene as well. And a lot of people also don't know that Stranger Things is based off of an anime. So
Oh.
yeah, I forgot the name of it. It's like Akila. I can't remember the name of it, but this anime basically is the same plot. Children who are guinea pigs to the government, similar to like Eleven's powers, and that manipulate energy. And a lot of fans noticed that the plot of Stranger Things was similar to an anime called Elfen Lied. And
Okay.
they had other parts taken from there too, like the sci-fi and stuff. And animes that I would, suggest, of course, the classic when you're a kid, Pokemon. Um, the ones that Pokemon, then I've watched Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon has gone further than they've got like 42 seasons. And let me tell you something.
I'm gonna have to watch that, I guess, because I've never seen any of Sailor Moon.
I would recommend definitely watching maybe the first few seasons, but let me tell you something funny because animes, and I think about the 90s and how shows used to be, and shows used to be longer. So it was longer than 10 episodes. So like first season is like 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Like what? Like that isn't even, and then the second episode is just as long. So I didn't burn through when I rewatched them. I didn't watch each one per se. I watched like probably like 6 or 7 or 10 from each and kind of got the gist of it. But that I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z, it's funny because they were dubbed a couple different times with different what do you call that? Different scripts. Like some scripts were different, even though it's the same like plot, some of it was different. So you would have to look into that. I watched like I said, Fooly Cooley. I like Studio Jubilee's work. So they're an anime company who's made like a movie called My Neighbor Totoro. Then we have Ponyo and Kiki's Delivery Service. Kiki's Delivery Service is about a witch who's just delivering food, and Ponyo is like a girl fish thing who turn into a human on land, but turns literally into a fish in the ocean. There's Cowboy Bebop from the 90s.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. One of my other favorite animes was Inuyasha. Inuyasha starts off with a young girl who's in parochial school, and she falls down like a random well that leads her into a different dimension, and she runs into the main character. His name is Inuyasha, and he's like half wolf, half person, and they fight demons to collect this jewel shard or pieces of a jewel, of shards of this jewel, and it's supposed to harness like some type of power. But that show is controversial because it never technically ended. It just stopped making episodes. So we have like, there's like fanfare favorites, whatever you call the term.
Yeah.
Create like ending of episodes and like Reddit and stuff, or so people really get into it. Like there's these Comic-Con adventures, which I really want to go.
Me too. I definitely want to go to a Comic-Con, and I'm going to either be, I don't know, Tony Chopper off One Piece, or I don't know. I don't know who I would be. Probably Killua.
Okay.
Off of Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. But
I mean, besides Nezuko, but
right. You want to stick out at the same time because you go in, of course, everybody loves the same thing as you, but then you guys are all like wear the same outfit. There's like 30 in a crowd, but that's pretty cool. I think Dallas has some pretty good anime cons, and
they have them here too.
I've been to a couple of them. So I have not been to San Japan. Have you been that one yet or no?
No, the one. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me look it up. Black Anime Con. The one that they have, Dream Convention, is the Black Anime Con, and they have those around here too.
Okay, when is that?
That one is. I know. I think it just is. This one is going to be July 26th through the 28th this year. Okay. And it's going to be at the Austin Convention Center.
Okay.
And they have badges that are, if you all want to know, there are, for a premium badge, you have the ones that are $250, and for a weekend badge, they are $100. But as of right now, the weekend badge is sold out, and the next drop will be March 15th, which is a Friday at 7. But the premium badges, which are $200, they're still available.
Of course, the cheaper ones are. Everyone's like gone, gone, gone.
Right. And
I guess I want VIP.
DreamCon is good. Is the pictures that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
compared to regular Comic Con.
Right.
You know how like regular Comic Con, everybody was like all bunched up and up against each other. Like right here, it's still the same amount of people, but it's not everybody up on each other. They're giving you space,
Right.
and that's what I like.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I like that. I like that idea. I took my son to a small little anime convention that I took my son to a anime convention that one of his classmates' mom had invited us. And it was at one of the empty malls around here. And
Mm-hmm.
it was okay. I knew it wasn't going to be as big as these other ones that are at the convention centers, but it was okay. Sometimes I find it interesting that some of the stuff they sell are stuff that you could easily buy at a garage sale or eBay, so and they want to charge a higher price. I prefer not to really buy merchandise unless it's legitimately unique, not something that I can get offline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I actually found a few more Comic Cons that's around Texas. So this one it ended yesterday. There was one in Houston, Anime Burst. Let's see what's close. San Marcos has one coming up on February 16th through the 18th. It's called Usher. It's at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have KawaCon on KAWACON 2024. That's March 2nd through the 3rd. That's in San Antonio. Is Conroe close?
Is where?
Conroe.
I have never heard of that place.
Okay, well, we have Round Rock. We have one on August 16th through the 18th. That's Colossal Con. San Japan in October 30th through the 31st in San Antonio.
Right.
And then, of course, I didn't even mention Dallas and Houston and other ones, but there are plenty more. I'll add that to our page so everyone can find that out.
Right. I heard there's a big one every year in Japan. I mean, not Japan.
Mm.
Sorry, Las Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, there's supposedly a big one there. So
Let's see. Vegas. Anime Vegas. It is March 23rd through the 24th.
I think that one's the biggest in the States, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then I think the one San Japan, and then the one in Dallas. I think those were the three big ones. Maybe Florida as well. Okay. But I know for sure I saw Vegas was on the top of the list. So, and I know that there's a lot of conventions that actually come around through here. I just don't take the time to do them.
And the list of animes that we listed, I'll make a post on our Facebook, Instagram, and post those on there. So if you want to look those up, and I'll also add some links to some articles that give you a list of anime. So any way you want to watch, we'll put those out for you.
Right.
Did you have anything else you want to talk about on anime today?
Nope. I just recommend getting into Studio Jubilee. They have a line of movies. The creativity that they do. It's like one of those take your imagination type of company where they have multiple sets of movies underneath their listing. So
I'm trying to find the name of the kind that I watch. It's like showing. or something like that. I can't exactly figure say the name,
Yes.
but it's like showing or something. But it's a certain type of anime, and it's those like, or it's like the production company, and
Mhm.
those are the ones that I really watch more.
Oh. You know who's actually gotten really into anime? Netflix.
Yeah,
They have a slew of anime cartoons,
they do. I
movies.
watch them on there.
Mhm.
I watch them on Funimation, but Funimation's actually about to go away. So
Do you
you
watch
watch them.
Crunchyroll?
Yeah, we watch them on there. We're watching. That's where we're watching One Piece right now in Japanese.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah. Also, just to let y'all know, not all anime is in English, so you might have to watch it in a different language. So
And read your subtitles. So get your read.
just be prepared.
Yep.
But I mean, at first, I didn't like reading.
Yes.
Um, I hated it so much. But now that's all mainly that I watch because most of my shows and everything that I watch on Netflix are either in Korean, Japanese, something. I'm not watching it in English. And
Hmm.
I figured out the type that I was saying. It's shonen, Shonen, and it's an editorial category of Japanese comics targeting an audience, it says, of adolescent boys. It's also it is also along with the manga targeting adolescents, girls, and young women, and that's me.
That's you.
So yeah, so I mean that's it's mainly it's targeting who it wants, and I like the ones like that.
Kind of
It's
sounds like
someone's
everybody
in.
except older men.
It's like high school. They're not really fighting.
Oh,
Those are the type that I like. It's they're not really going out killing people or stuff like that. So,
that's like the best student council. Yeah.
hmm
The main character, she's they're school kids and they just have regular weird drama. There is some weird underlying, like probably like paranormal stuff going on, but it's
hmm
not like fighting. But a lot of anime has a lot of internal, the characters always have internal struggle or some type of internal thought. Like there's a lot of times where they're not talking because they're just thinking and you hear all their
well,
thoughts.
and that's one thing that gets me when they're fighting.
Hmm.
When how do you have time to tell me your plan, um, do a backstory, like all these different things. Like we're supposed to be in the middle of a fight, yet you thinking about all this other stuff. Like come on, that's the only thing that really gets me. But I like it. I enjoy it.
That's like my childhood when I used to watch Dragon Ball Z from like after
Hmm
school. Dragon Ball Z, some of the versions drag out, so they shorten them. But the original
Yeah.
series, they'll have like two characters who, because pretty much all the characters know how to fight, right? It's not
Yeah.
like imagine everybody just being wrestlers and they just happen to run into each other. So
hmm
like there's two characters. They're like they're nemesis. They're floating in the air, and then the random just field of grass or dirt. That's usually their scenery. And all they do is talk shit. And then you get to the next episode, a character shows up. They're like, oh no, they're fighting. The character runs away, gets to where they need to go to. By the next episode, they're still talking shit, haven't fought. They're like flaring up. By like the third or fifth time episode, like from the original one where they fought, they finally start to fight, but then the fight goes like 5 episodes. Like,
Oh no. Okay, so we're on One Piece, right?
yes.
This fight has lasted 4 years. Okay, so this is we're on where people were back in the day. So we're catching up. So people who were watching One Piece when it was coming out were waiting one episode a week for this, and it lasted 4 years.
Isn't that sad? It's like
There,
we
I
used to be
couldn't do
more
it.
patient though, remember?
Hmm
So we had to wait. There was no other option. But you know what? That built the hype because everyone was
Yeah.
talking about you.
Titans. Attack on Titans became a worldwide phenomenon after the first episode aired back in 2013, mostly thanks to its unique setting and bold storytelling that's not afraid to kill off the main characters. The show is set in a post-apocalyptic future where humanity can only exist within three massive walls protecting them from the Titans, which are giant humanoid creatures that prey on humans. After a colossal titan kicks a hole in the wall, teenager propagandist Aaron decides to join the military scout corps and find a way back to fight back against the Titans. So that's them. Then you have Death Note, and I know most people have heard about Death Note and Light Yagami. So Death Note is a is about a guy who stumbles upon a book, and the book is called a Death Note, and its owner is Ryuk, which is the Grim Reaper. The Death Note, the notebook is from hell and has the power to kill anybody who has name written in them pages. And Lights decide to use the power to cleanse the world. As Kira, he'll reform society through vigilante justice unless the gifted but eccentric detective known as L stops him first. So we got those, and then we have Full Metal Alchemist, and I've never watched that one.
Okay, I've heard of that one before.
Yeah. But it says that Full Metal Alchemist is about brothers, Ed and Al, and after a failed attempt at bringing their mother back to life through alchemy, which backfired, Ed is cost an arm and a leg, and it also leaves Al as a bodiless soul chained to a set of armor. Wow. Yeah. So you can definitely watch those, and you had a few more suggestions, right?
I actually wanted to correct something. But I said Sailor Moon's name earlier. It was actually Usagi. So I actually pronounced that wrong because I knew I was saying it wrong because there was another show. So that's why I was giving up the other name for that. But
Okay.
Some people wouldn't consider it anime, but to me it is. It's Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it when it was out. I know that M. Night Shyamalan tried to do a live action movie and did trash. I'm so sorry. That's why he never came back and did any of the other sequels, because it's supposed to be like book. He learns this power. It's a young boy who's an airbender who can, manipulate air, but he also has the ability to do, manipulate water, fire, and earth. And everyone, he's the avatar because he can do all of them. Everyone else either can do one or none, and there's only one avatar at a time. So his main character is like it starts off with a brother and sister, and Sokka and Katara, and they are part of the water tribe, and they're Sokka irritates Katara, and she's a waterbender, and so she gets irritated and causes some type of water that around them to move, which they didn't know that this boy was frozen in ice underneath them. So she caused the little boy to come out from the ice. He's trying to figure out how he ended up in ice, but he was awake 100 years later, and it just goes down to the story of like what him adjusting to the future. Pretty much everybody he knows is dead. Him still having to fulfill being the avatar, a kid, 100 years old. Everyone thought the avatar disappeared because a new avatar cannot be created until the previous one dies. So so that's why another one never came for all those hundreds of years, because the boy was frozen in ice. And he did that just because he was under pressure. But it gets into it later. And they're doing another live action movie, which actually looks decent. They said that there's some goodness. Yeah. So I hope it does well. I think Netflix took it?
I think so. Yeah.
Netflix, they've got good budget over there.
Yeah.
So I can't complain.
There's one that I want to watch. It's who Megan dressed up as is for Halloween. Soul Eater. Everyone says that it's really good. It's a Japanese manga too. Mangas is basically the
comic book form.
Comic books for the Japanese people.
Yeah.
But it says it revolves around 3 teams, and each consisting of a weapon master and at least one human that can transform into a weapon. So yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Anamorphosis. You ever read that book growing up?
No.
Yeah, Anamorphous is just some stuff from the 90s, but it was just kids morphing into animals and it turned into a TV show. One last anime that I would like to talk about is a cartoon called Ham Taro.
Okay.
And it is so cute. It's about a bunch of hamsters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just so adorable, just living their little hamster lives. I think it only made it a couple seasons,
Uh-huh.
but they came out with like 3 games on Game Boy. I bought all 3 of them, or made my mom buy them. So those I got really into the Hamtaro thing because I thought they were just so adorable. So if you're ever into some innocent cartoons, that's definitely the one to do.
Okay, I will definitely look into it. And I know we were talking about anime,
Right.
but I just so happened then to see that post that you were talking about where Jermaine said y'all got me fucked up,
You saw it.
and those socks are crazy. I wouldn't have. They are slouch socks with a pocket with a pearl on it that say
Yes.
Louis Vuitton.
She
I don't
said,
care how
with the
much they
pearl,
cost.
with the pearl.
They have a pearl. Yeah, so I don't know, Jermaine, but off the subject of anime, I just saw it and I had wanted to come back around real quick. But yeah,
Yep.
no,
It's like
no,
you'd rather them just be ruffle socks.
because that's not it.
Looking to have great memories captured in time for you to see whenever you like? Want wonderful photos for any occasion? Then contact Christina for all your unforgettable moments you want to cherish forever. You can go to her Instagram page with Rain and Light, and in her bio she states from Austin, Texas to wherever you are. You can also go to her website, www.withrainandlight.com, and get started with your memories today.
Welcome to the horror story segment of our podcast. Each week, we'll bring you a new story that will chill you to the bone. So sit back, relax, and let us take you on a journey into the dark side of the human imagination. So this is the light lighting up the otherwise pitch black hall. I pick up the candle off the side of the banister by the stairs, as it's the closest weapon to me. My wife had always been obsessed with decorating our home with paintings or candles. a desperate attempt to make our newish home more warm and happy. Definitely ironic now. Creaking the door open, the doors feel uncomfortably loaded compared to the eerie silence of the rest of the house. I peered through the door, looking for any other people before stepping in, thinking that my wife was the only one here. I entirely ignored the big Doc Martin looking boot at the bottom of the simple navy blue velvet curtains. Also ignoring how I had never heard anyone leave in the hall, even though the windows were clearly closed as I could see through the crack between the curtains. I looked down into my wife's side of the bed, desperately trying to hold myself together, unable to scream. It's been at least a couple days since I got here. I would have expected for my employer to call me on the phone, the one I'm typing on, since I hadn't been at work for 2 days, which would be very unlike me. I've worked out from now. Why? This figure has started to actually be me. Living in my house, sleeping in my bed, going to work, replacing me. I'm getting really tired and hungry now. I might go to sleep. Please be careful if you see something off about someone. It might not really be who you think they should be. Goodbye, world. yeah, that definitely wasn't what I was expecting, especially at the end. I was expecting a little more. But yeah, that is the end of our horror section. And if you like those and want more, just let us know, and we'll definitely do some more of those. Or if you like the Am I the Assholes, let me know, and I can do more of those. So whichever one you like more, I can definitely do those. So this is the end of that section. So stay tuned for our next segment.
And this is Music with Lady Roscoe, where we talk about current, past, and present music, entertainment, just for the best of ears. In today's music segment, we'll be talking about how anime influences music and culture, and how anime influences everything else. So this is more of an entertainment section today. Anime has such a significant influence on music, both in Japanese and around the world. Here are a few ways in which anime has impacted the history. Anime theme songs. One of the most recognizable aspects of anime are its theme songs. Anime theme songs often have catchy melodies, meaningful lyrics that resonate with their viewers. These songs can range from upbeat and energetic to emotional and heartfelt. Many anime theme songs have become popular outside of Japan and have topped the charts in various countries. Anime has helped popularize the genre of J-pop, Japanese pop, and J-rock, Japanese rock. Both in Japan and internationally, many popular anime series feature J-pop and J-rock artists, which has led to an increased exposure for the success of the musicians. Some anime series have also served as a launching pad for new artists, helping them gain recognition in the music industry. Concerts and live performances. Anime-themed concerts, live performances have been increasingly popular over the years. These often feature performances by artists who have sung or composed music for anime series. Fans can enjoy live renditions of their favorite anime songs, experience the energy and excitement of being surrounded by fellow fans when doing or going to live concerts and performances. Anime has also facilitated collaborations between music and anime series. Popular artists have been commissioned to create music specifically for anime openings, endings, and soundtracks. The collaborations have resulted in unique, memorable music that adds to the overall experience. Musical diversity. Anime covers a wide range of genres and themes, and the diversity reflects it in music, whether it's pop, rock, hip-hop, classical, electric music. Anime soundtracks often incorporate various music styles to complement storytelling, to expose the different genres as broaden the music horizon of many anime fans and introduce them to new styles of music. Anime has profound impact on the music industry, showcasing the talents of Japanese music and introducing global audiences to vibrant and diverse anime music. Anime has a significant influence on American cultures in various ways. Pop culture. Anime has become integrated in American pop culture, which influenced iconic series like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Pokemon. Gaining widespread recognition and fandom, these shows have influenced fashion, language, even music, with references and memes appearing in mainstream media. Media and entertainment. The success of anime in the United States has led to its integration into mainstream media and entertainment. American adaptation of popular anime series, live action films based in anime properties, and collaborations between American and Japanese studios have become more common. Fandom and conventions. Anime conventions such as Anime Expo, Otakon, and Comic-Con draw thousands of attendees each year, showcasing the passion and creativity of anime fans. Cosplay, the practice of dressing up as an anime character, has become a popular hobby among American fans, contributing to the vibrant anime community. Merchandise and merchandising. The popularity of anime has resulted in booming market for merchandise, including action figures, clothing, accessories, and collectibles. Major retailers in the United States now carry a wide range of anime-related products, catering to the demand of fans of all ages. Art and animation. Animation, distinct visual style and storytelling techniques have influenced American animation and entertainment. Shows like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra, which is the spinoff, draw inspiration from anime, incorporating elements of the artistry and native complexity. Overall, anime's influence on American culture continues to grow, transcending its status as a niche interest to become a mainstream phenomenon embraced by people of all ages.
What's going down with it, man? It's your boy Big Tone P, Mail Route Entertainment in the building, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go follow me on IG, big_tone_P, and Big Tone P on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to that channel. Shout out to Yoko Camille and Lady Roscoe. Not Your Average Podcast, man. Shout out. Much love, you know what I'm saying? Peace.
What's up, everybody? And welcome back to Around the World and Back, the segment of our podcast where we talk about the latest current events happening around the world. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn something new. All right, so welcome to Around the World and Back. So there are a few things that I want to talk to y'all about today that are very serious, and I'm not sure if you understand or if you knew about them. So I want to inform you so that you are aware and you are on the lookout. The first thing that I want to talk about is there is a police search for 2 armed teens who threatened to shoot a preschool up. So there are 2 Wyoming teenagers who allegedly threatened to carry out a mass shooting at a preschool here in Texas. They are armed and driving a stolen car, thought to be heading here to the southern state. Wyoming police alerted Texas authorities that the 2 boys, Quentin Damon Wardrick and Otis David Elam, had stolen guns and a 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle, and were likely en route to League City near Houston after running away from Wyoming on February 7. Now, these teens reportedly exchanged text messages talking about shooting up a preschool in Texas, although they did not mention a specific target. The Amarillo Police Department said on February 9th that they expected the teens to be passing through Amarillo, which was along the fastest route toward League City. The suspects are reportedly driving a white Chevy with a black top and a thin white stripe along the sides with Wyoming license plates. In their announcements, Amarillo police included pictures of the teens and the car they are driving in. Now, they were supposedly told to do this by this older lady who is supposed to be in a relationship with one of the fathers of one of the boys, and she is the one who is supposedly told these young teens to do this. Now, I say young, but they're 16 years old, and you know, some teenagers, their brain isn't fully developed, and I can't say they don't know right from wrong, but they do understand the difference between going and shooting up a preschool school or any school is completely wrong. So if you do see either of those 2 young men, please be on the lookout and report that. Also, I wanted to inform you about one of the stories that we talked about recently last week, and it was about the Virginia Beach Pier car that went over. So finally, they have confirmed that they have recovered the vehicle from the ocean and that it was driven by a 57-year-old Caucasian man. At this time, they are not revealing his name and they don't know the reason exactly why he did it, but they did say that he was a 57-year-old man and he was alone in the vehicle, and they don't know as of yet the reason that, he drove off into the pier. So hopefully they'll have some more details on that. And once they do, I will definitely update you some more on that. That was a really sad and traumatic event. So if you're thinking about suicide or you know someone that is, there is the crisis line, which is 988. You can text or call that. And there's also 988lifeline.org, and it's available 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if you ever are feeling distressed or you're going through things and you feel like taking your life is the best option, reach out to someone so that you can get that help. Um, Also, here in Texas, I want to talk about little Noel Rodriguez Alvarez. If you haven't heard about him, his mother has been indicted on multiple charges, including capital murder. So, a Tarrant County grand jury has indicted the mother of missing 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez on multiple charges, including capital murder. Cindy Rodriguez Seen was indicted on felony charges on capital murder, 2 counts of injury to a child, and 1 count of abandoning without the intent to return. These indictments will significantly support their efforts to apprehend and indict her back to the United States. And she has they fled to India. Cindy, Noel's stepfather, and their other 6 children, uh, they all went to India. And in November, she had filled out the application for these passports, but she never included an application for her 6-year-old son. So she never planned on taking him. And then she told her family that she sold him to someone at a HEB. But they end up finding the remains, or they're looking for the remains of this young boy. So she will be indicted, and they're trying to bring her back. And I think that's really disgusting and sick for you to do that to your child. Like, what is going through your head when you do those type of things? Like, if you do the things to get a child, you need to do the things to take care of that child. That child didn't ask to be brought into the world. So for you to kill this child and abuse this child, you're dead wrong. And when you go to jail, whatever happens to you, I'm just going to say you deserve it, because you should have never done those things to that child. And another case that I want to talk about is here in Austin, and it's about a serial killer. And so I'm just going to read this article, and it says, serial killer hysteria returns to Austin after another body pulled from Ladybird Lake. So Austin's social media accounts, including a true crime Facebook group, lit up Tuesday after authorities pulled a body from Ladybird Lake, reigniting unfound speculation that there is a serial killer here in the city. On Monday afternoon, the Austin Police Department held a press conference confirming the body's recovery. It's unclear how long the corpse has been there, and there is no identifiers. Was the water, which has no identifiers, was in the water, and whether it was any wounds. Public Information Officer Ariel Crimes told reporters. Homicide is actively investigating this as a death investigation. Although details remain sparse, this discovery was enough to stir conspiracy theories and would-be sleuths back into the action on the Ladybird Lake serial killer true crime group. I was 100% sure Austin had a serial killer last time they found a body. And I'm about 125% sure now, says a post Tuesday morning. Rumors of a serial killer hunting young men and dumping their bodies in Ladybird Lake, a reservoir southeast of downtown Austin, ran rampant last April. drawing international media attention, police recovered the bodies of Jason John, Clifton Axtell, Jonathan Honey, and Christopher Hayes Clark, all between the ages of 20 and 40, between February and April of 2023 in that reservoir. When the Texas Monthly ran a story largely debunking this idea that a serial killer was responsible, rabid members of the Facebook group scolded the publication and the journalist who wrote the story. Some even suggested that Austin police paid off the magazine. Now, at the time, Jerome Ramey, a now retired St. Mary University law professor and former legal advisor to the Irving Police Department, told The Current the accusations against the Austin Police Department and the Texas Monthly were laughable. Now, what do you think about that? Because, I mean, if they go missing down on 6th Street or at those bars over there, then they all end up in the lake. It's a little something fishy. Now, large-scale conspiracies are extremely difficult to organize and extremely difficult to keep confidential, Ramey said. Almost always information can be gathered about the extent of each kind of conspiracy. It's just difficult. If you want to commit a crime, do it yourself. Don't ever do it with someone else. Now, if you're going out downtown, go with someone else, stay with your friends, and if you're going alone, keep your location updated so someone can know where you are at all times. And the last thing, I think that's it. That was everything that I wanted to talk about today. So, later Roscoe will be back in and give you her around the world and back. So that's all I wanted to do for today. So I want you all to have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in with us at Not Your Average Podcast.
So the topic that I wanted to talk about in Around the World and Back is Elon Musk creating chips to insert in the brains. And what this has been going on is him and his company have been claiming that these chips are currently could be used to assist individuals who may be in form of a disability, including paralysis or even speech impediment or issues. The part of the brain where the chip is inserted is supposed to basically read your brain and then trigger movements to those body parts that normally wouldn't move. For example, if you're a paraplegic. They said they've been testing these on monkeys already, making them play video games. Makes me wonder, if they're making them play video games, what could they make the people do? They're trying to promote it as something beneficial to a class of people who would need that type of assistance. But what else would this lead to? Putting chips in their brains, and then by the time you think you want to do something different against the grain, what are they going to do? Explode you with one button through your brain? I don't know. There have been other companies who've been feeling some type of way about this. Basically, he's created a BCI, a brain-computer interface, implanted for brain reading. It records and decodes brain activity with the aim of allowing a person with severe paralysis control, like a computer, robotic arm, a wheelchair, or other device through thought alone. That's crazy. Doing neurological research, neurological connections to your brain. You know, a microchip and those computers, they're based off of brains. Things that we've created one day are probably going to turn against us. It's like AI, iRobot. Everyone talks about AI, but I don't know if people remember, I think it was a Steven Spielberg movie. Could be wrong, but it was the AI movie. It had Haley Joel Osment in it, and it basically, the movie was very advanced and ahead of its time. It basically followed along with some parents who had a child who I guess was in a coma or some form of a disability where they didn't have their child with them. So to fill their void, they got a robot child. So that was Haley Joel Osment. And when their son got better, they had both of the boys there, the robot boy, and then theirs boy. But he didn't really like the idea of a robot. So it transitioned from a young robot who's innocent and think he now has a brother to they just dropped him off on the side of town where a bunch of other robots have been rejected. And this particular robot has been programmed to be a little boy. So he's thinking to himself, why doesn't my parents love me? It's actually kind of sad, and it gives a little bit of a Pinocchio vibe to it too, because it's the concept of a boy wanting to be a real boy. And there's a part where he meets this character. He's a robot. He knows he's a robot. And he's just in mischief. But he sees, Haley's character, and he tends to kind of take him under his wing. The movie pretty much ends where Haley ends up in some type of pod where he's like frozen in time, and in the future they ended up finding him. But that's how the movie ends, is like a bunch of humans find him in some form of a pod. I can't even remember how it really, like how he ended up in that pod. I just knew that, he really just wanted a family. It was a sad thing, but it also, showed how technology worked and the advancement and the selfishness of people and how we probably would use it, to our gain, with disregarding of the quote unquote life of the program that we created. So I don't know. This whole brain chip thing is moving forward with this AI, the movie AI, with what's really going on, even iRobot, So we've got such fast moving technology now. We can't even fathom what's going to happen. Next thing you know, we're going to be living in space stations in the sky like Star Trek and Xenon. They are already taking trips to space. Well, they're going to be taking commercial flights, and they're already doing testing. So people are going to shoot to the moon and live on space stations and walk amongst robots. So hopefully before the world completely collapses, I'm long gone before then. But I thought I'd talk about a little bit of technology and around the world and back. Thank you once again for listening to Not Your Average Podcast. Make sure you listen to us anywhere you catch your podcasting needs, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon, Spotify. Take a look and make sure you watch out for our episodes coming out in the future. We also are going to be working on our YouTube channel, so please keep a lookout for that. Make sure you're interacting with our Instagram and Facebook page so we can continue to do the great work. Thank you once again, and you guys have a wonderful day for listening to Not Your Average Podcast.
Average about it, just get glad that you found it. Tell a friend about it. Know we all about it, so we gon' speak about it. Yoko, Camille, and Lady Roscoe, leave no doubt about it. Scream it out from the mouth. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop, they dig it. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. You know what it is. Not your average podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yoko, Camille, Lady Roscoe. Y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying?